There were a couple of examples, especially in Europe and NA in the past, where this law basically was enforced, and rightfully so, because some names or some logos just can't be brought to the public.
Team Good Guys, actually.
Yeah.
Well, one of the examples of a team having their logo changed.
And their name.
And their name, yes.
It's always funny, too, that when a team is forced to change their logo or and their name, it's oftentimes the complete opposite of what the original meaning was. It's kind of nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Superstars were also a Team Talaran. Good thinking.
Yeah, what were they called before? Dumpster Tier Superstars?
I think that was it. Something with Dumpster Tier, yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Unfortunately, KT did not heed our call, Tetcher. They didn't go for the map. They went for the first pick once again. And
hooray, we're breaking another spree.
0% to 0% though. None of the teams has won on Dragon Shower yet. So how does this work now, Tetcher?
Well, one of them's going to win, and one of them is going to have a less than 0% win rate. And let's see what the picks are. This is once again a very decent edited map, and goodbye Ariel. Even with that weird build, they were able to win with it last game, so it's removed this time.
Alright, let's see how long it takes for either of the teams to win, because as you guys saw, they're not really that proficient. However, TheOne, once again, fairly small sample size. They've only been playing HGC China for 1 season, and as you guys know, that is now only 2 weeks old. So, Tasser, our first pick. KT says, thank you very much. We're going to pick one of those. Oh, Uther was banned though, by the way.
Uther was banned. Genshuo. If Rhaegar gets stolen from him, he has to place a third support.
Yeah.
My god.
Please do it at once. Just do it.
Please, yeah.
And then I want to have the webcam on Genshuo's face and I want to see his reaction.
It's currently on there.
Yeah.
Let's see if they stick with it. Go on. Rhaegar. 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 Come on. The one. Bliss. It's so obvious.
Don't get us wrong, guys. Genjo is probably more than capable of playing other supports, and probably better than most of us could. But we want to see it.
We want to see him play them.
We want to make him make a statement here. We want to make him show us that he truly can do that. By the way, for those of you who are new to the channel, Genshuo, the player on the bottom right-hand side, not only does he have a fantastic haircut, but he also changes the color and the style of his bandana from game day to game day. So that's always cool to see.
He hasn't already used this one, though, so
he
does have a limited amount. No, Rhaegar is stolen. Instead, we see Genji Tyrael coming in for the one. Good start. And now, what are we seeing from KT? Likely that Rhaegar, or maybe they will show us something new.
Okay, so I think TheOne's opening here is kind of neat. It's kind of nice. The Genji, always good to have on Dragon Shower. He can just, you know, rotate from lane to lane very quickly. He could jump over terrain as well to go for unpredicted ganks. Tyrael, always solid, especially with the Holy Ground later on. You can truly ruin the opponent's day if you deny them access by taking a Dragon Knight. Okay, the Rhaegar is safe. Good, good, good.
So, very nice. So, Genshuo is still in some form of comfort here.
Could this be a game without Vala? If any of the teams bans it now.
Maybe? It's a good question. As a heads up here, Genshuo currently has a 0% win rate on Rhaegar, so there is a chance that might keep going.
So, banning the Lunara out actually speaks kind of a clear language here. They definitely don't want to go double support, it seems, TheOne. Otherwise, a Lunara against a solo support could have been very rough to face, and if they're not planning on going double support anyway, they might as well just destroy or ban out this poison AoE source. There are still heroes who can fulfill the same role, like a Gul'dan, for example, or a KT, but Lunara is basically the safest option and the most consistent option when it comes to dealing AoE damage. Greymane taken out. So yo, if we don't see a Vala here, I'm gonna
be happy, but
I'm gonna be very happy, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, she will be picked up here. Genji Valor is a pretty solid combo. Sustained damage with Genji to finish off. It's pretty good.
I mean, there's only so many ranged assassins, good ranged assassins, I should say, available. Now that Lunara and Greymane are taken out of the equation. And especially when you take a look at KT's roster with a Tassadar, you need to be aware that they might go for the Vala eventually, and as such, TheOne goes for the no-brainer. They go for the double pink action here, by the way, pink Super Sonya and the Cowgirl Vala.
Very aggressive team comp. Even Tyrael is actually a little bit higher damage than a lot of the other tanks, so far, lots of damage on the side of TheOne. There's going to be an aggressive team comp, especially even if they go Sank, it's just all in, drop Sank, win fight.
Hard to say what KT is now going to go for. They could still go for the Illidan, but then at the same time, they also need a full tank, right? And ATC, for that reason, is getting locked in, but they go for the Tracer, which is a very nice call. Although, I do want to say this. Tracer against Genji, we've had this standoff, this Overwatch duel, many a times. And for the most part, it was actually Tracer coming out on top. So Genji's going to have to be careful, because now there's a hero in the enemy roster that can match his speed and mobility.
Kendrick, I want you to follow my dream here. Judgment leap and just blow up Tracer. Just
I'm following you on this one.
Stop her just doing anything. Focus her down. Sounds good.
Then you know what? I want a Karazim to also follow the action here.
That sounds like a pretty good one to me. Other than that, I would say with most of the heroes having some kind of sustain... Definitely not Morales. She would be the worst supporter here. Lily wouldn't be the worst thing. If they wanted to go all in, Tyrande would actually be pretty reasonable here.
Tyrande is, to me, is a little bit too weak. I was going to say that Karazim would be nice here because of Earth Ally. You can really shut down Tracer's burst damage with the auto attacks. However, Brightwing does a very similar job at shutting down Tracer. The Polymorphs, the Brightwing Emerald Wind can also break the formation after the Tracer team going deep and going dive mode onto your backline. So either way, it's going to be nice. Is the Brightwing going to be enough though as a solo support? We're going to find out. Brightwing hasn't really been played as a solo support as of late, unless you're Team Fnatic and you just dominate everyone anyway.
So both teams... I'm thinking about this, and I honestly think KT are boned. There's too much to deal with the Tracer here. I think this is going to go really badly.
I don't know. The only saving grace here for KT, I would say, could be a good ETC mosh. Is that going to happen, though? We have seen China kind of struggle when it comes to dealing those insanely powerful dance parties. Only Wang, a few days ago, was able to deliver those. So I remain skeptical. And judging from how KT just played, I don't think they have the skill, the communication, and the coordination to really make such a high-risk, high-reward Tracer comp work. Especially not against, as you said, what TheOne brought to the table here. But we're going to find out in a bit, ladies and gentlemen, if my words or our words are going to come true in game number 2 between TheOne and KT. And once again, the two teams enter the fray. On the left-hand side, TheOne in the blues with Hugo on the Sonya, Lucky on Tyrael, Meng on the Genji, Zyren on that Brightwing, and Hehe on the Vala.
Whereas on the right, it is Kudos top with T-Die on Tracer, Neptune on the Dahaka, Genshwo on Rhaegar, Seeing on Tassadar, and Butcher is on the ETC.
Butcher and the ETC. The irony, because normally ETC becomes manhandled by a Butcher if everything goes right. Deliver those juicy steaks.
Fresh meat. Cook it in the furnace.
I think if there's any hero that Butcher is probably looking forward to the most when it comes to, you know, cleaving it, it must be ETC, right? Maybe some Fairy Dragon steaks, though. Don't know how those taste, but
yeah,
sounds good.
Sure. She's got butterfly wing, so would it be insect-like or would it be lizard-like?
I mean, there are some people who say that certain insects like grasshoppers, for example, they taste like chicken. So, you know.
Apparently. An interesting question. I'm trying to think if there is any other animal-based heroes and Heroes of the Storm that might be. What is veal? In the form of Lunara.
Yeah. Definitely wouldn't say no to that, although we probably have to stop talking about these delicate subjects, otherwise we might get... Oh! Genji! Oh my god, Meg with the big...
Nice. What an escape, and Lucky picking up the kill as well. ETC's not done, he wants vengeance. Lucky gets out, and Hugo picks up another kill.
You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
They're gonna get everyone. Hugo gets Neptune. Butcher, the only survivor, he escaped through the bush.
Get REKT. KT, because that was insane. Absolutely demolished Genji. Meng with the biggest swag escape I have seen on the Genji thus far in HGC China. Brightwing refusing to die. Turtle having their righteousness ready at the right moment as well. The ultimate turnaround, in KT suffering already in this early game. An entire level out of this situation.
Wow, what a start for TheOne. The baits, and no, they lost 1 for 1 there, but they
Meng
won't
the
get
God?
T-Die, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, they were able to get Rhaegar in exchange for Valor, who was picked off by the Tracer.
Yeah, Tracer finally getting a revenge kill, if you will, because KT must feel very mad. Sometimes when I have a game like that in Hero League, I'm just like, well, some games are not meant to be won in the early game. We're just going to have to hang in there and maybe come back later. But it's really hard to not, you know, let this mentally affect you. If so many heroes on the opposing side get away with just a sliver of health, but that's the art of playing pro, right? Let it affect you mentally. Always stay on your grind.
Exactly. So we see the Manic Pixie coming in from Brightwing. Extra healing, which is fair, seeing as she has a lot on her shoulders. She has some very low health tank to deal with as well, so any healing is going to be good healing, and even the extra radius to make sure that she's always healing everyone. Exactly.
We're going for a full sustained healing build here from Brightwing. With that healing increase, the heal range increase, as Tetra said, the Manic Pixie. And just as it is, beautiful blocking by the Butcher here on ETC, making sure that Tyrell cannot throw down his Eldruin in order to delay the pickup of the Dragon Knight, seeing going to town here, destroying a couple of towers, and similar to Garden of Terror, when you get those early objective, all you want to do is just destroy towers. Going for the gate is nice, but towers are what give you XP.
Indeed it would. So, good start from the Dragon Knight already, losing a good quarter of its health, but was able to take down 2 towers, which is where that XP is going to be coming from. Moving up to the top lane, finds a Hugo, who immediately drops a stun onto it, and finds his own gate, as the Dragon Knight starts working on yet another tower.
There we go, seeing making sure that only 1 tower at a time hits the DK, doesn't really go too far up towards the top here. Sonya, of course, deals a huge amount of damage also to the DK, so there's only so much CE can really do here. Neptune also pieces out. He tries to maybe go for a cheeky gank. Let's see. ETC and Neptune on the Dahaka, both setting up.
Yeah, they're waiting for potentially Brightwing to move further forward. In fact, she is... they ran out of patience. Deciding against it. Sonya's now very near them, so they want to be a bit more careful about this. And Neptune's already left because he doesn't want to miss any XP.
Exactly, you can leave the Genji left unattended. However, in KT's favor, we need to say that securing this Dragon Knight actually gave them a lot of XP to come back in XP. Now Meng, he knows that he has the tool available to escape, the jump, the dash, and of course also the invul from his deflect. So kind of nice how patiently Meng played in that moment. But yeah, as I was saying, the XP is now back in favor of KT actually, thanks to that Dragon Knight. Really huge play coming in, and slowly but surely they seem to have stabilized.
For the moment, they have
for the moment.
And we do see our first hammer on ETC, and he didn't take Guitar Hero. This game makes little sense to me sometimes.
Yeah, I do not understand why the follow-through was being chosen here, especially with Brightwing potentially being able to give a little bit of physical armor later on. It's not like, you know, maybe they want to have a little bit more burst damage for the Genji. I think that could be a legitimate way of explaining this, because if a Licky Sticky Tongue hits or the Power Slide was hit as well, then you can have a little bit more damage here. There we go, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Holy cow!
Fair enough. It is just going straight for the extra damage and just relying on block party for the Sonya. So I guess this makes a lot more sense. Yeah, I'm down.
I just can't believe it happened the moment we were talking about this.
Yeah. The other option would have been the knockback for the extra damage there, but this works too. It's more single target and less chance to actually displace him from Sonya's bomb or stuff like that.
Here we go. I'm quite proud. That was probably one of my most proud caster moments with you here in HGC China. The self-fulfilling prophecy.
The instant results when you say something and it instantly comes true is definitely one of my favorite things to happen when you cast.
I mean, the opposite happens more than enough, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like for me, I don't usually get them in game. It's usually in draft. Like mid-season brawl. You know, I think would be really good here. Sergeant Hammer, ready to roll out straight afterwards. As heroics are hit for both teams. Mosh Pit is available. Emerald Wind, a little bit of denial for it. Sanctification to try and get everyone out of it. No rain effect. Battle Whip. Oh!
Is he gonna make it? Oh, he's gonna make it, I think. Yes.
Now.
Oh, taking a little bit of the action and tension away here. Sorry for the freezes here, by the way, guys. Nothing we can do about it. But that was still a fantastic kill by Meng. Once again, this guy continues to improve me more and more as time goes by. An absolute lethal Genji player here.
Yeah, looking really, really solid as time goes on. Meng continuing to rotate around the map. 5 kills to 2 currently in favor of TheOne. But no Dragon Knight yet. They haven't actually done much structure damage at all. They are kind of struck. They're winning fights and getting ganks, and they're not really capitalizing on them yet. We need to see them start to make some map-based play.
Exactly. Macro play, map-based play, that is normally something that China is not necessarily known for, but certain teams, especially I do want to say CE, RPG, and SPT have stepped up in that regard quite tremendously. Now they try to take down Lucky here on the Tyrael. That is a very, very interesting endeavor, though. The Tyrael Sanctification has been dropped, and Sonya goes in.
The poison spear removes Genshuo. Tracer having to drop the recall just to survive and get away from that Sonya, and she does. But that's another kill going over to TheOne, even though KT once again hold both shrines, and we're finally seeing TheOne take back that bottom one with the Genji.
Insane damage coming in here on Genshuo on the Regard. There was nothing he could have done about it. He wasn't even super hard out of position, right? He was not in the middle of things here, but still, there's only so much a Regard can do. He can't use the Ancestral on himself anymore. That might have been something Genshuo needs to get used to, because so far he usually played Uther, who could have used Divine Shield on himself and also becomes a little bit more tanky in general thanks to the Devotion trait.
Have we talked about just how insanely mobile this comp from TheOne?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hang on. Brightwing getting focused. Is Emerald Wing going to have to be dropped? No, just going to die.
Brightwing, the hero?
Oh, Emerald Wing was down. Yeah.
The hero!
Down goes Meg. Sorry, Meg takes the Dragon Knight due to Brightwing going down. Nicely done. And now they're going to be able to get some towers of their own. But let's talk a bit about this mobility quickly. Sonya, Spear to engage and tiny bit of extra movement speed, which can be upgraded later on if she wants, and she can take Mystical Spear if she wants to as well at this time tier. Valor Vault and extra movement speed. Sonya just goes for Whirlwind instead. Brightwing teleports. We have Genji everything. Tyrael teleports and speed. They are so insanely mobile. This is the ultimate chase the Tracer comp.
Absolutely.
Chase the Trace.
Chase the Trace. There we go. Copyright now secured by Tetcher on HGC China. But yeah, really solid point you made there. It's so hard, it's so easy to catch a Tracer, and I never thought I would ever say that, but there's so much mobility available, so much shutdown as well for TheOne. And I do have to say that the fact how they played around it, TheOne that is, like willingly sacrificing the Brightwing to get the Dragon Knight, because they know Brightwing can just get back into the action anyway, thanks to the phase shift, right? So, really going for very smart calls and even dying on purpose, tactically feeding. I'm quite impressed with how TheOne plays the series so far. I gotta be honest.
As am I. They're slightly ahead in XP, just being very slow and methodical in this particular game, holding themselves together, making sure they don't make any mistakes, and so far working out very in their favor. For now, Genshuo using that Lightning Bond clear this camp very quickly, especially with the help of that TAS AoE.
There we go. No biggie, no problem here for either of the teams to really clear these mercenary camps. Now, Lucky and Butcher, do they know that about each other? Well, Tyrael now definitely knows about him. There we go.
And I'm pretty sure the sword would have made an effect, which probably, if Butcher was paying attention, would have alerted him as well.
There we go. Not a whole lot of killing has been done compared to the... actually 9 kills in 10 minutes. That's not too bad. But the big Wumbo Schmumbo fight is yet to be seen. The big Mosh Pit fight. The big Tassadar Arcan damage.
Consider it's only 3 interrupts for the Mosh Pit. I'm surprised we have not seen it yet.
And normally, Sonya should always get caught in the thick of things, because she should always be near ETC due to the nature of how those two characters work. So the only thing to really interrupt ETC would be, of course, the Brightwing Poly or the Emerald Wind. Let's see if Neptune is going to live through that 2 versus 1. 2 versus 2.
Getting focused, TAS arriving. No shield for Neptune. Yeah, has to drop Archon just for the movement speed slow, and that is enough. But unfortunately, that's a big cooldown to blow just to save it.
That's a very big cooldown indeed, Tetra, as you said. And no heroics being used here on the side of the one, so already quite the big win, forcing the attention of Tassadar, forcing out the Archon, which is a big team fight ability. So kind of nice. I'm not even sure if Archon had to be used there. Of course, the slow from the splashing attacks is nice to have, but I don't think Dahaka would have died in the first place. I could be wrong, though.
Possibly. Not entirely sure. Either way, TheOne attempting another Dragon Knight here. They already have the double laser or a Shadow Link. They go, wow, done.
Okay.
Not even a hesitation. Just straight in. This is ours. Okay, bye. Speaking of bye, T-bye, as he gets punted into the base.
Yeah, kind of a nice try, though, to bait the Dragon Knight into the fort and the towers, so he takes a lot of damage. Meng, that is. Punts the Tracer once again. I don't think the Dragon Knight is going to take too much damage, though. The middle fort falls. Gets knocked back, though. Nice effort by Butcher. And but look at how smartly TheOne plays this, right? Instead of focusing all the attention on the Dragon Knight push that probably wouldn't get much done anyway, they're pushing bottom, they're pushing top. Top fort is about to fall, bottom as well. So much XP, so much value with just one Dragon Knight push.
Yeah, Dragon Knight's just happy to burn a little bit of health just to make sure that it's putting on enough pressure. Down to 20% health already, but now it has 20 seconds left, so pretty reasonable use of time. Even though it didn't get maximum damage done, his team more than made up for it.
Absolutely, and sometimes you need to rely on your allies more than you do actually want to make a play yourselves. Seeing now in trouble, so has a dimensional shift, I guess. Genji on the hunt.
Yeah, Dragon Knight Cat finishes up and Genji moves in for some poke. This would be the best chance for ETC to try and land a mosh due to the fact that, well, everyone's here. It's his best chance to get as many heroes as possible wrapping around, scattered by Hugo. And unfortunately, that's one of the heroes you wanted the mosh, and because he's pieced out, he knows he's not going to be in it.
Exactly. Also, Dahaka not really making any moves to help his allies in need, which I don't really agree with either. 16 has been reached. There's no way Dahaka can soak to 20 in just a minute or so. So he needs to join KT, and they need to make something happen. Finally, they just can't react all the time. They need to be the playmakers with Tracer. Come on, guys, let's go.
ETC staying. I don't like the way he's moving. He really should be moving with his team, taking the risk of being hit. One, for the disengage on the face melts, and two, he doesn't have Crowd Surfer. If he wanted to be playing like this over walls, he should be using Crowd Surfer.
Yeah. Now Genji being focused. Meng, though, easily remains his calm. Nerves of steel here. Not even using the Swift Strike, saving it for the big engage and the plays. I do like, though, the fact that Tassadar is fully stacked. I do like the double storm. It's so much damage if you let seeing poke over and over again.
Yeah, it's looking pretty, it's working pretty nice, getting little bits of poke here and there. Sonya has finally left and moved up to the top lane. Butcher power slides, but finds holy ground. Just how irritating. Right winger Genji have arrived to meet Neptune, and Neptune does the classic Dahaka thing of, oh, I'm sorry, am I being ganked? I guess I'll get some kills then. Delivered straight to my lane. Wow, this new surface is definitely getting 5 stars, as they, but he was able to wasn't able to get a kill this time. As we see KT re-rotate up to the top lane to try and clear out this bruiser camp.
That agile dismount, by the way, coming in from Genji looked fantastic. Meng just flew in from the borders of her screen. Didn't even know he was there, so kind of nice to see. The observers in general are doing a really good job of catching most of the action here in HGC China so far. And look at TheOne, they're so mobile. As you said, Tetra, they're just stealing mercenary camp after mercenary camp. And I think it's due to the fact that they're so mobile, but also due to the fact that KT is so indecisive. Level 20 is going to be reached soon, and what are they going to do?
Well, the camp has had to be ditched. That means it's going to push in this bot lane due to the fact that KT have to guard this bottom shrine. This is a fight numbers advantage for KT if this does kick off, due to the fact that they have Dahaka who can burrow down here, and also there are 2 heroes in the top lane in the form of Genji and Sonya. Genji currently chilling in the mid lane, waiting to see if his team can sneak a double cap. Lucky wants it. Tracer finds the tiniest gap to teleport through and make her way onto the point. Here comes ETC, face melt, Emerald Wind. Butcher might be in trouble. Good cleanse. Might keep him alive, but he's dropping low. Ancestral. Clutch move by Genshwa.
So here's something that ETC and Rhaegar could have done together. That was a beautiful spot for a mosh pit. However, they were kind of scared of the polymorph and the Emerald Wind, rightfully so. But you have the opportunity to land a pre-cleansed mosh pit, and Rhaegar could have certainly done that. Now Butcher feels the pain, 1 kill, and more to come for Meng.
The surprise Sonya from behind to Hucker's nowhere near. This is a 4v5, and the one shredding it. Neptune arrives and is like, oh, everyone's dead. I'm leaving, guys, I'm leaving. Almost dying. He takes so much damage, gets a good drag, but Lucky teleporting ahead of Hugo so that he would tank the shots instead. And they're able to turn around and grab the kill. Only survivor is Genshuo. Not even go for the Dragonite yet. They're just going to guarantee themselves a keep.
Yeah, they guarantee themselves a keep and maybe even more. They have Vala and Genji and the Sonya. That is some excellent solo target, sustained DPS.
They still have Sank.
Oh my God.
There it is. You don't even need to do that, guys. But there we go. That is going to be GG. And the one take the 2-0. And some lovely, delicious points.
I don't know what KT was trying to do in that game. It looked like they were never decisive enough to go for the mosh pit, and if you're not confident, if you're not decisive in landing in mosh pits, you might as well not take it. So twice in a row KT looked kind of shaky, looked kind of wonky, but we don't want to take anything away from TheOne, once again proving why they're considered to be one of the strongest newcomer team in HGC China history. Just like BTG, they just continue to impress, Tetcher.
Completely agreed. They are, all these new teams that we have for this season are putting on a spectacular show. And with those points that TheOne will have got, they will take a clean 3 points here, which will move them up to 8 points, currently overtaking SOA.
Yeah,
SOA still have a game in hand.
Exactly. That's going to be our next series, to be exact. SOA versus Hearts Lady. Two teams that I would have considered to be or I would consider to be on the same power level, with actually SOA having the edge in terms of results lately, and two teams that couldn't be more different in terms of development. SOA in phase 1, completely underdogs, whereas Hotsley used to be always one of those teams, you know, you had high hopes for. They were in the middle of the road, and now, you know, the tide has kind of turned. SOA being on top, and Hots Lady being at the very bottom of the table for now.
Exactly. SOA have been stepping it up. They were tied in first place a couple days ago, but since then, Challenge, Super Perfect Team, and Beyond the Game were able to overtake. If SOA 2-0 though, then they will tie up with Beyond the Game. It's like a tied 3rd to 4th place.
Very true. And oh man, I'm just so excited when it comes to BlizzCon this year for the Chinese teams. We might potentially see BTG, a complete newcomer. We might see SOA, the underdog for the most part, turning into that beautiful swan, basically, surprising so many people in a very pleasant way.
The SOA story, a SOA or BTG story would be incredible. RPG would be pretty spectacular if they're able to make a recovery after this less than stellar start. That would be super cool. TheOne would be really cool to see after just, once again, just slowly improving, coming out of nowhere. Not even starting off with a bang, just improving over time would be nice.